So this
Well,
is it.
no.
This isn't.
I will stand next to you, so you could totally pick up on the, you could tell everybody.
I know, but I think this is very specific to you two because
It
I
is.
am not
It's very
knowledgeable
specific.
about the topic.
So
You already know.
I do know the topic.
I need to ask you just in an interview style format.
Oh, I love it. Is this a paid gig?
Yeah,
it's paid. Here's
Well, yeah. Thanks, buddy.
I think you've already gotten your first installment.
I know.
What do you like in 30 seconds? What do you remember about Jaxon?
Oh my gosh. Well, I remember Jaxon being a happy guy, and I remember him being carefree and willing to just explore everything. This super fun guy. Super fun.
Okay. What do you remember? I mean, you've only seen him a few times. Well, more than a few times.
Yeah.
That's probably at your house.
So, first of all, I remember him being very mild-mannered, just very, very even-keeled, but also, just being like a normal kid because, seeing him around my kids, they were talking, I think, about like Minecraft.
Mm-hmm.
No. It was those little guys who would go and seek and hide and destroy each other.
Fortnite?
They were an ark with one eye. What was it called?
Oh.
I could draw you a picture. There was like a red one, a blue one, a white one. They looked like ghosts.
Something like Among
Us.
Among Us. Yeah. Okay.
So I obviously saw the just straight-faced kid that just was open to playing around, just
he was fun.
just happy. Yeah,
he was fun and carefree.
Yeah.
It was always a good time when he was around.
Yes.
Yeah. So I guess what I want to ask is, before we go, is in your perspective, I don't know if you can even answer that. What do you think led to us getting to where we are today, where he's not around anymore? Can you even speak to that?
Well,
meaning that what we already know to
well, I mean, we're recording it.
Yeah.
For him to watch someday.
Right.
So if we're going to talk about it.
Right.
What?
Well, I mean, I saw that he was influenced.
You can keep cooking, Michelle. I mean,
Yeah.
You can move that.
Yeah, I think I was standing right in front of it because you didn't tell me it was there.
It sounded to me, Jaxon, that from what I heard, the stories that I have heard is that you were told certain things, and you were like not just told them, but you were coerced, forced in a way to you either have this or you have that. And I don't want you to be around here. I want you to be home doing me. And I don't think that the stories I heard seem to reflect not only your dad, but seem to reflect stories I've heard about school and other activities in your life also. So, I know that somebody was telling you what to do a lot, and you had to do it. That's what I think had happened.
I figured that what I would do is make little videos like this, where we're just, having a conversation.
Yeah.
And then either the whole thing raw or little pieces of it can get uploaded. And eventually he's going to find them and he'll be able to watch them.
Yeah.
And then have not just my perspective, because there's my perspective, there's mom's perspective, there's his perspective. But then
Yeah.
there's like the community.
Yeah.
Right.
And
We
like,
never, we never got to hear mom's perspective.
No.
And so the stories that came from Jackson's mouth, the stories that came from your mouth were two sides. And there's three sides. Mom has an agenda. She wants something, and we don't know what that is. And Jaxon, unfortunately, it sounded like you were used to get whatever she wanted, and that seemed to be your dad out of her life.
Yeah, like hanging out at your house
Mhm.
with Dahlia and Dylan,
Mm-hmm.
playing games, having dinner. He would never know that anything's wrong.
Right. And that's usually where, I mean, people are pretty consistent in how they are. If they're troubled, I mean, especially growing up the way I did. I grew up in an abusive house, and not many people knew what was going on. But with my friends, I mean, they all knew.
Yes.
So and it didn't probably take more than 5 minutes for you to be my friend and for me to tell you what was happening
Yes.
behind the doors. But I mean, I was in similar shoes and at his age. Obviously, a very different situation, but
Mhm.
being aware that I felt the burden of trying to protect my parents,
Mm.
or my dad in this case, who was who well, both my mom and my dad were um, people that I wanted to protect, but were also hurting us.
Yes.
And yet,
But you didn't have the perspective back then that you do now.
right.
You didn't know anything other than protect your parent.
Right. Well, I was and like I was afraid of losing my parents.
Yeah,
Yes.
and you want to get
Right.
the approval of your parents.
Right. So
it's not until you're what, 20, 30, 40 that you can look back and say, oh man. Oops.
right. Well, and so
Yeah.
just relating to the situation, I can see why a child would lie to protect one or both parents,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes lie unknowingly to believing that they're helping the other parent.
Yes.
Like in this case, Tom, and it's it's sad that we don't have Jackson's side of the story, because I think that's
it's so sad.
Yeah.
That's the most important part.
Yeah, it would be really nice if there was a safe place to hear his voice. But
Mhm.
even like you as a child, like would you even be able to really say it? Whatever it is, you don't even necessarily know that something was wrong until later.
Yeah. Oh, and I did tell people, just none of the adults that were supposed to be taking care of me. Because you're a kid. Like, what do you know?
Yeah.
You just do what you're told, and you make the best decisions you can as a 10-year-old, 12-year-old.
Well, I'm going to grab some moments like this with Sid and with Hugo and with anybody, so that moments will come out of memories of happy, rambunctious, excited, and that this was a warm, loving, happy environment.
Well,
So that
I hope he remembers that later on,
yeah,
that he loved his dad. And
lots of cooking happened in this kitchen.
oh man, lots of cooking and lots of experiments.
Right.
It was fun.
Right.
All right, Michelle, I'll move this because I don't want your food to burn. All right. Well, till next time.